In the following questions, a statement of assertion A is followed by a statement of reason R, and we have to answer these questions as per these rules. If both assertion and reason are true and the reason is the correct explanation of the assertion, then mark 1. If both assertion and reason are true but the reason is not the correct explanation of the assertion, then mark 2. If assertion is true statement but reason is false, then mark 3. And if both assertion and reason are false statements, then mark 4. And according to this, let's attempt the very first question. Question number 171. Assertion given is, a person can suffer from AIDS since birth. And this is an incorrect statement because AIDS is a non-congenital disease. And a person cannot suffer from AIDS since birth. The reason given is AIDS can be transmitted from mother to her child through placenta, and this is an incorrect statement because HIV or human immunodeficiency virus can be transmitted from mother to her child through placenta. HIV then attacks and destroys T helper cells, making a person immunocompromised, and then AIDS develop due to the destruction of these T helper lymphocytes. So as assertion and reason both are false statements, then we can mark the answer as 4. Let's discuss our next question. Question number 172. Assertion given is, ADH regulates water permeability in DCT and collecting ducts. And this is a correct statement. ADH or antidiuretic hormone, also known as vasopressin, regulates water permeability in distal convoluted tubule or DCT and collecting ducts. So reabsorption of water in collecting duct and DCT occurs under the influence of ADH, and this is a true statement. Now the reason given is ADH increases the number of water channels in latter part of tubules and collecting ducts, and this is also a correct statement because action of ADH increases the expression of water channels in DCT and collecting ducts, thus increasing the permeability, and as the reason correctly explains the above given assertion, so we can mark the answer as 1. Let's discuss the next question. Question number 173. Assertion given is, events of uterine cycle will not take place in a woman who has undergone hysterectomy, and this is a correct statement. Hysterectomy is what? Hysterectomy means surgical removal of uterus. This is hysterectomy. And when there is surgical removal of the uterus, then the events of uterine cycle will not take place in women. Now the reason given is ovarian cycle will remain unaffected in hysterectomatized female, and this is also a correct statement because with removal of uterus, no changes will occur in ovarian cycle. Follicular growth and maturation will occur in ovaries under the influence of hormones from pituitary gland. So assertion and reason both are correct statements, but as reason is not the correct explanation for the above given assertion, so we can mark the answer as 2. Let's discuss our next question. Question number 174. Assertion given is, competitive inhibitor can bind with free enzyme as well as enzyme substrate complex, and this is an incorrect statement because competitive inhibitor will bind with free enzyme only and not with enzyme substrate complex. It will bind with free enzyme only. Now the reason given is competitive inhibitor bears close resemblance to the product of reaction, and this is also an incorrect statement because competitive inhibitors bear close resemblance with substrate and not with product. With substrate of the reaction and not with product, and it will bind with free enzyme only. Now in the given question both assertion and reason are false statements, so we can mark the answer as 4. Let's discuss our next question. Question number 175. Assertion given is, during electrophoresis, larger the size of DNA fragment, closer it will be to the cathode, and this is a correct statement. And this is a correct statement because we know that in gel electrophoresis, let's suppose this is agarose gel, these are the wells on which you will load your DNA sample, and this is closer to cathode, and on applying the electric field, the DNA molecule will move towards anode. Now, the larger the size of the fragment, it will be closer to the cathode, and smaller the size of the fragment, it will be closer to anode. So the assertion given is true. Now the reason given is larger fragments face more resistance as compared to smaller ones while moving through Agarow's matrix, and this is also a correct statement because larger fragments face more resistance while moving in gel and travel smaller distance as compared to shorter fragments. Hence larger fragments are more closer to the cathode, and as the reason correctly explains the above given assertion, we can mark the answer as 1. Now let's discuss our next question.